Life advice. Mike says the Dolphins are going to lose this weekend. So, anyways. All right, Bert. I was going to do super serious Kirk Cousins get out of Minnesota life advice.
Yeah.
But there's some things that came to my attention real quick. Travis Kelce. We're living in a world where Travis Kelce gets a touchdown, and the first thing the camera does is pan over to the suites, and Taylor Swift is there screaming, "Let's fucking go."
Yeah.
So I want to give some life advice to Travis Kelce, who is dating or not dating. He's hanging out.
Apparently
Taylor Swift.
I don't know.
Apparently, I don't want to label.
It's been talked about even
know.
before this happened. I don't even know if it's a publicity stunt at that point. And furthermore, I don't know why anybody cares. And I don't know why I'm so emotionally invested in it, but I am. And here we are. So let's talk about it.
So, Bert, I'm glad you had that emotional outburst there because that goes into my life advice. Travis Kelce, be careful. Okay? We care about you. You are entering a different world. Okay. You're in the podcast world. You're getting a little bit of celebrity. Taylor Swift is a different tax bracket, okay, than what you're used to. Since Sunday, Travis Kelce's jersey sales spiked 400%. Travis Kelce's podcast, #1 overall, not just in sports, in all the podcasts in the world, Bert. Me and you, Joe Rogan, Travis Kelce and his brother. That's it.
Travis well, we know he's #1, but we'll see if it's us or Joe Rogan that comes out.
It's close. It's close.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce, since Sunday, 383,000 extra Instagram followers in one day. 24.3 million viewers watched that game against I can't remember who they played, the Bears. 63% jump in female viewers ages 18 to 49, the Taylor Swift demographic. 3 times 49? Increase in Chiefs searches on the web, and 3 times increase in Chiefs sales, the most sold tickets for their next home game in a single day. Bert, the Taylor Swift effect. Travis Kelce, I have to give you some advice, bud. Life is good, but now you're in the big leagues. The Swifties are crazy, bud. Yeah. They're attacking all his exes. They're attacking his girls' exes.
Are they really?
They are vengeful. You do not fuck up Travis Kelce because you will have 13-year-old girls and 40-year-old single fat white women with cats all in your DMs. The women who don't need no man, but they'll listen to all the Taylor Swift songs. Already got their fake lyrics printed up for you, man. Do not be careful. Taylor Swift, you're used to dating a certain class. Other than that, enjoy dating your walking iron board because I saw your ex-girlfriend. I mean,
hey.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry.
There's nothing wrong with Taylor Swift.
She has $700 million. She's worth $700 million.
Also, for all the reasons you just said, I don't want any Swifties coming after you. Okay.
Listen, you thought the Ku Klux Klan was bad.
Yeah.
Move over, Proud Boys. All right. Just be careful, Travis Kelce. Don't mess up because you're stepping into a different world here. In the NFL world, I don't want to call his ex-girlfriend, but she was not the previous one, but the one before as an Instagram model. But in that social media world, the sports world, I believe his ex-girlfriend worked locally for a sports. I think she was like a sideline reporter or something, but all in the same realm, right? In social media, sports, all that intertwines. You're in this is moving up to the literally the big leagues, good times. Okay. Taylor Swift is a different monster. Bert, she had a track list and made some sort of website that had 33 million puzzles worldwide. And if all 33 million puzzles to get solved, she'll release the track list to her new album, 1989. By the way, Bert, guess what year Travis Kelce was born?
1989.
So, Bert, that puzzle thing that her people put out, all 33 million puzzles were solved in less than 24 hours. Okay. They thought they had weeks.
Is insane.
Insane.
Bert, I think it's insane because I can't all of the musical artists I've ever liked growing up Uh, I would say the biggest one that had this much of a hold on the pop industry or just music in general was probably Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
And I don't think if he ever did anything like this, I think his fans would be like, yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. This level of we have to solve these so we can hear new tracks thing is a level I can't even comprehend. And it's like one of those things where I don't hate it. It's just I'm
Right.
indifferent to it. I'm like, this is just sure, but like
This is more about this is not about Taylor Swift. This is about her fans. That's
no, the
batshit
fans,
crazy.
yeah, and the fans that yeah, to spend that time solving this to hear a new song, and I mean that's a
Mhm.
greater sense of community. That's frightening, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So, listen, man, 700 million is 700 million. I'm with you. Travis Kelsey, do your thing, bro,
Oh
but
yeah,
be careful.
yeah,
That's mine, Bert.
yeah. I don't. Man, this was a good one because I don't first of all, the fact that more I can get the merch, I can get his podcast being listened to.
Mhm.
People are checking him out. The search is like they're vetting him, they're looking him up. The attacking of the ex-girlfriends is a little bit weird for me. But
Yeah, and it's on both
buying
sides. They're attacking his or her ex-boyfriend too. Like it's a lot, man. It's like they have nothing to do with it. Just
yeah,
move
I
on.
don't
You
know.
know what I mean?
Yeah. But what's mind-blowing to me more than anything else, I mean, the viewership, I get it. Well, I'm sure once people heard that she was there at the game, people tuned in to get a glimpse to see how she would react if he scored a touchdown. But to
Mhm.
buy tickets to the next Chiefs home game, if the individuals buying them or who I think are buying them, which are Taylor Swift fans, hoping
Yeah.
to go there to catch a glimpse of Taylor Swift watching football,
Yeah.
that to me is incredible and good for the Chiefs, right? It's revenue. Good for Kelsey. Get that bag, go for it, and hopefully it
Mhm.
works out. It's one of those things where, and I thought about this. I reflected a little bit. I was like, I think it's just because she is arguably the biggest musical artist in the world, particularly this year with her tour and everything. And she puts out
Mhm.
bangers. I'm not gonna, act like I haven't listened to her album. I have. But if this was like when we were in a different age range, if we had saw like a celebrity end up dating a football, like we can take Tom and Giselle.
Yeah.
When that first went off, Giselle was a well-known model at that point, and it was oh okay, yeah, Um, yeah, Mike, we'll toss Corey's back in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this magnitude, I don't know if there was any other musical artist or any other icon that would date a football player if we would have reacted the same way. If like our generation would have went all in on this, like this is
No,
happening right now.
our generation is way too cool for that shit. Like, it's
Yeah,
cool. Like, we saw Janet Jackson's titty at the Super Bowl, and we talked about it for like a day, and
yeah.
then it was like, okay, you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was cool. You got to see the pictures. You see Janet Jackson's titty. We weren't running out like this is Michael Jackson esque. Like, and I
So
know
yeah, it
it's
is.
and
The
I'm
fandom
never gonna
portion at least.
say the
Yeah,
fandom, right? And I'm
yeah.
never gonna say Taylor Swift's bigger than Michael Jackson. If Michael Jackson had the internet, it'd be game over.
I
But
mean,
it's as close to Michael Jackson mania as I could kind of describe to people. Like,
dude, the amount
and
people are paying
obviously,
for tickets alone, flying to different cities to see
yeah,
her, like, and
yeah,
and people have done that for a lot of artists, like Beyonce, and I mean, name any artist. If people fly to see them, I totally get that. But like the, everything, and I mean, there were I guess she was playing 3 or 4 nights in a row in certain cities, and people would buy tickets to every single one of those performances. It's incredible to watch. She's doing good things. And like you said before, pray for Kelsey. Let's hope he doesn't mess it up because if he does, he might turn up dead somewhere. like,
yeah.
yeah,
Before we get to yours,
yeah.
just
We
toss
gotta.
Corey's back. Corey, the New Orleans Saints. Sorry, bud.
Oof.
Derek Carr. Well, not sorry. Derek Carr's injury isn't as serious as they thought. He is week to week. It is some type of shoulder injury, and it is on his throwing shoulder. So I don't know, but they didn't say he was out. They just said that he'll be week to week. So we'll see if
Yeah.
it's anything serious.
Well, Saints have. I thought it was the Pats, but I was looking at Week 5. They got the Bucks, so it's going to be a good divisional matchup too.
That's a good vanilla. Saints are at home too, I believe. So
Yeah.
should be okay. Do you
Yeah.
have any life advice to give out?
Look, life advice really just goes to Sean Payton. Get it
Mhm.
together. You don't have great talent on your team, but you have look, you have new ownership, You have been put in this position to come in and not make the playoffs, not win a Super Bowl, just get this team back on track for building into the organization it has been,
Yeah.
plain and simple. And what happened this past weekend, and not a terrible outing, like Russell Wilson hasn't looked awful, but excuse me, uh defense, offense, out of sync. They're not playing well. It goes into, dare I say, lack of preparation going into a game, bad in game adjustments. How do you let someone score 70 points on you? I just think Sean Payton took some time off. He re-entered the NFL when some coaching styles and how players receive coaching has changed overall. Very rarely now have the older heads in football ended up working out in a long time. And you have your stable ones, the Belichicks, right? You have uh
Mike
dare I s-
Tomlin,
yeah, I was gonna say Tomlin. I was what's his face in Seattle?
Pete Carroll,
Pete Carroll. Thank you. Yeah. So I mean, these are the individuals that are still there and will be. Uh, Ke Mike's
James.
jumping in. Kevin James, the best version of Sean Payton. And listen, that works for them. And you look at a club like the Steelers. Tomlin does phenomenal work for them. He's got the respect. And Sean Payton, you can get back to your glory days of what it felt like when you were in New Orleans if you just sat down and approached this from a different angle. Now, I'm not a problem solver, nor am I an NFL coach. I don't know what that angle is, but clearly what you're doing through 3 weeks is not working. And you have players now in press conferences that have just been, after being routed by the Miami Dolphins, saying, I've been here for 7 years. All I've done is losing, and I'm tired of it. Now, this
Mm,
could have honestly been a blessing for this organization. Maybe it takes a good old fashioned slobber knocking beat down
mhm.
for this team to say, I don't ever feel like that again. I don't ever want to go through that again. Coach, what do we need to do? And everybody start from scratch. But man, from coming in, like you said earlier in the show, talking crap about the former coach, saying how things are going to be different, to what? What are they? 0-3 or 1-2?
Uh, the Broncos are, let's see, 0
I
and
mean,
3.
0-3. I mean, to come
Mhm.
in 0-3, I don't know, man. You need to sit down, you need to make some adjustments, and you need to think, what am I going to do to help salvage this? Get as close to 500, as you can be.
Yeah.
The one thing that comes to mind is exactly what Detroit did years ago. Awful their first season. Man, I got COVID brain right now. I'm sorry, Jerm, but
You're
Dan
good, brother.
Campbell, thank you. I was like,
Yes.
I'm blanking on his name.
You're good. You're good,
Uh,
brother.
so Dan Campbell, what
Mhm,
I think they losing season, win the last game of the season, great
mhm.
effort, comes back and says next year we're going to be better, getting up to
Yep.
500 next year, and then look at them this year. So I think this is
Yeah.
what Sean Payton needs to do: give Dan a call, figure it out, say, hey, listen, I'm in the same situation. Expectations are super low now. How am I going to make the adjustments to prepare myself for next year? Salvage what you can this year, figure out what's going to happen next, and use it as a building block. But if they continue to, I mean, if they can go on and win one game this season, but still lose every other game by 40, 50 points, it's not going to be good. They need to find a way to close that gap 100%. And I do think it's on him and the coaching staff to do something about it.
Yeah, Sean Payton, get it together. This reminds me a lot of John Gruden when he took over the Raiders. They were awful their
Mm,
first year and a half, and then all of a sudden they were close to winning the division. They were in the wild card in the playoffs, winning 10 games. And then obviously Dan
mhm.
Snyder leaked
Yeah,
bad
it's a
info, and
closet racist.
yeah, and so which is fine when you don't know about it, but then once people know about it, as long as you're winning football games, generally that kind of stuff. But the world's a little less tolerant of that now. So yeah, good stuff. I like life advice. We should do this again.
Yeah.
And it's a
It's
good segment. I'll
every
make a
week. Hear how we save Travis Kelce from another week of
yeah.
Taylor Swifties.